Hello, my collective lovelies. How are you? Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is an all signs reading. That's right. It means like it's not for your sign, it's for all the signs. So please put on your intuitive hat. I'll call it signs and symbols as you need to know them in order to know what's going on here. So I've got my surrender deck. I thought it would be appropriate since we do have an eclipse coming up, right? Things that will be eclipsing from our lives, the surrender deck. What do you need to surrender back to the universe is what I want to know. And so we will get one of these and then we will go at it with the Soul's Journey Oracle. This deck is called Surrender, I believe. All right. Let's find out. We're looking at the collective, please. Give me general collective energies. Give me majority energy, please. What are you supposed to be surrendering? What can you eclipse from your life, my friend? What are you eclipsing? All right, we've got wonder and awe. It says, open to the magic of every moment and sense the new awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. I love it. What's being eclipsed? We'll do one more. I think what's being eclipsed is doubt. That's what it sounds like. It feels like you're supposed to go with the flow, keep your attitude high, so keep your vibration high, and experience awe and wonder. And so I feel like it's like what you are getting rid of or surrendering is the hard energies that you've been having to deal with. They've been keeping you stuck, keeping you outside the flow. We've got a surrender to your soul's path. I love that. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. I feel both of these are telling me that what you're eclipsing is doubt about the self, I think. That it feels like it's also a worthy, it's a worth thing as well. It feels like with the green and stuff, it reminds me of Pentacles and Earth energy. It feels like it's a worthiness issue, or it was. It is no longer. That's what it feels like. You're about to release. What you're about to release is everything that is not filled with wonder and awe. And I love it. You're going to keep connected to the ecstasy of the flow. It really is. You will lower your cholesterol. You will, I'm telling you, when you decide to let things go rather than fight the current, yeah, it's going to extend your life. So I feel like this surrender to your soul's path, I feel like what you're eclipsing from your life, oh, there we go, fear. So the fear of what if? What if I don't hold on tight enough and it gets away from me? Well, then whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. It's like you need to finish those sentences in order to not be scared of the change. What if? And then fill in the question and the answer. I think it's important that you realize that your journey is a perfect path. You're not making mistakes. You're not out there making mistakes and doing things wrong. And just because things happen in your life that are hardships or make you sad, sometimes terribly depressed and out of sorts, that those things are all designed to build you to where you are right now. And I'm not saying you deserved any of it. I'm saying that it is you who is decided that your soul's path is more important than anything else. And that is the wonder and the awe. I love it. It's beautiful. Got death. Transformation is here. That is transformative energy for sure. Every moment is a lesson. I think you're just going to allow the flow. You're going to stop trying to control everything and creating adversity, because when we go against the flow, right, when we're swimming upstream, when we're walking against the crowd, I mean, sometimes it's necessary, right, to do those things politically or, in your life with your family, taking stands on things. Sometimes it's important to do that, but it doesn't always have to be about adversity. So the Death card says, I am learning that endings are merely new beginnings. And so that's kind of what I'm feeling here, that you are in surrender to the soul's path. You've decided that you're going to go with the flow now. This does talk about the flow, the wonder and the awe. You're now ready to go with the flow because you realize that there's no point in hanging on to the things that are dead. There's no point in hanging on to the things that are just taking your energy and no longer exchanging energy with you. So I feel like you do realize that endings are just merely new beginnings, that we can feel sad about it, but we don't mourn every ending that we have, right? That we save our mourning for specific types of loss. We've got adversity. It says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And that's so true. Sometimes it's got to come to us, right? Yeah, we don't, because there's lots of people who don't believe it unless they see it. And so sometimes it comes through adversity, because ending things isn't easy. Blame. It says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. Someone has decided that they are taking their part in whatever they played in this death and adversity energy. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. They're very disguised. Yep. And so I'm looking at it this way, and it feels like whatever burnt down back here, I feel was supposed to burn to the ground, because out of it grew this. Like we've got a little bit of this color right there. It feels like it's kind of connected for me. Don't ever forget the adversity, but please do enjoy the abundance. And we have to go through endings and new beginnings sometimes to get those things. And those endings can be terrible and awful and horrible. And I'm sorry if that happened to you. All right. What am I doing here? I'm all backwards. There it is. Okay. Okay, here we go. Tell me what is changing here. It looks like there has been an ending. Somebody's realized that, things don't truly end. Lives don't truly end. Energy keeps going. It's just in a different place, in a different time. And I'm not even talking about moving from this earth. It could be things like relationships. When we try and hold on to them because we think they're supposed to be with us forever, there's a reason things must end. It's so other things can begin. Otherwise, we can create adversity. And adversity is necessary as well. All right, got the King of Swords. Got the Tower in reverse. Oof, and the Death in reverse. So it feels like somebody here is holding back, holding off. Putting off the inevitable. That's what it is. Yeah. It feels like somebody here is putting off the inevitable, and it is causing adversity. I think it's necessary for you to pull out of a vibration. That's what it feels like. There's a necessary change that needs to go down here, that you need to start putting yourself at the center of what is important. I think you're tired of talking. I think you're tired of talking. Yeah. And one of the most important pieces of advice I ever got was from Jordan Peterson. And he said, when people stop listening, stop talking. And I think that's what happened here. I think that you had some sort of an ending here that caused you to get into the flow and realize that you were the most important thing. And I feel that there's something that ended here with harsh words possibly, or some really honest feedback. You could have had something that came to an end with a King of Swords, so Aquarius or Libra or Gemini in a general reading. You know, the thing is that the adversity card with the Tower in reverse tells me that it's like the reason that you have adversity right now, if it's you that I'm connecting with, you might be a Scorpio. It feels like the adversity that you have right now is because you're resisting change. So if you're resisting to change your mind or change how you feel about something, change the way you think, it feels like the inevitability of the Tower falling is what you're trying to hold off. You're not interested in the change and the upheaval that's going to come when the Tower falls, and so you're trying to put off the inevitable. The truth of the matter is, though, is that the adversity is because of the pressure of the Tower that you're holding off. That's what's causing the adversity. You're trying to avoid the change, and you can't avoid the universe. Yeah, and it's also in the transformation of how you see things and your perception as well. We've got blame, and it says, I accept responsibility for my well-being, but the death card is in the reverse. And so it feels almost like you're still in a state of blaming others. Still in a state of blaming others, but very close to a transformation of that. Again, death card in the reverse tells me that you're either putting it off or it's like holding off the transformation. And I think that the death card is in the reverse because of the Tower. I feel like this transformation that you really need in order to alleviate some of the blame from yourself, because I feel like what is going to happen here is it's a realization. It's things that you'll have realizations about, endings and beginnings. And in that, I feel that you'll allow the change. So it's something that goes on up in the mind here about, it feels like you gain some knowledge or get some clarity or some factual information about just letting things be as they are, letting things go. And when you do, I feel like your adversity ends, or at least alleviates, because you're holding up a lot of heavy dead weight here. Things are over, cycles are done, there must be change, and you don't want to change. You could be like I said, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or Scorpio. That Soul's Path card is giving me Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse and the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. The thing is that you're holding off some healing as well. And that's really ultimately what the transformational energy is about. It's about relieving yourself of the blame, but accepting responsibility. Because when you accept responsibility within yourself, you stop blaming yourself for sure and other people. And it just brings down a whole wall of things that were so heavy that you didn't realize were so heavy. So the healing is here. There's healing in this transformation. And I want to say for you, you can't hold off the Tower. This is coming soon. The Seven of Pentacles is in the reverse. I'm no longer waiting. I'm no longer waiting, and it's time for me to go. I have enough pentacles. Yeah. So I feel like it's coming. The Tower's coming, and it is going to be an upheaval and a change. I feel it's going to cause some adversity, but I do feel as though it's necessary for this all to go down in order for you to move to the next step. Because I really do feel like you were stuck in the mind. You were stuck about an ending or something that came to an end or something that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, and it feels like it left you really stuck there. I think that the Tower is coming to give you movement. We've got the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Again, it's about the energy of not really wanting to see change. And I think it's just a fear, quite honestly. But I think that the adversity at this time is sort of the worst energy for you to be in. It's kind of like where things just aren't working out for you. Everything feels like it's heavy and hard and against the grain. And I think you're carrying it well, but you can't carry it forever. That's the whole point. In order to be able to move on in this life, we have to be willing to change and grow. Otherwise, what's the point? You can still be on here on the earth, but the life is over when you decide to never change again. Tell me what the Tower is going to bring, please. The Tower is going to bring some heartache. It's going to be hard. I feel like you're going to have some disappointments. I feel like the Tower is going to help you realize that the illusion was that everyone else was in charge, that everyone else was making the decisions, and that life was living you. And I don't think that was it at all. I feel as though you didn't realize that you're the magician. I feel like you will, but I think it's going to take the Tower falling. I think it's going to take you allowing the transformation in order to realize that you are the magician. And once you do, the Three of Swords is merely a blip on the radar. It's like, I'm disappointed in you. Let's get on with it. It's when the magician is here, it's like you have the confidence within yourself that you're just going to take that one sword that the magician holds, adds it to the three. That makes it healing, right? So you can make the situation whatever you want. But I think it's going to involve this very big upheaval and change that I don't think you want, because you might be a fixed sign. Could be an Aries. There it is. It's coming to bring you movement. Look, I say it over and over, and maybe you haven't heard me say it before, but it is, the Tower is mercy. And who wants to change? Nobody wants to change, right? And maybe not nobody. Maybe some people are open to it, but I think that it's hard when you're set in a certain set of mind, a pattern of mind, that it's your way, the highway, or maybe you have all the answers, or it takes sometimes a humbling of the Tower to show us that everyone is our teacher. And it feels like a movement, a really beautiful movement is here, because I think you do realize that yes, life can be disappointing, but I'm the magician. I have the last say. I have the last sword that's going to complete the 4. I can heal whenever I want to. And by the way, 6 and 4 is 10, and I can just end the cycle whenever I want. Now you realize that you're the one that's in control. You could always get into the boat, Dorothy. You know what? I'm looking at the ruby slippers, right? Clicking 3 times. You always had the power to go. But it was this illusion of the Tower standing so close up to you that you couldn't see what was on the other side. All right. Change of mind. What's the change of mind, please? It's probably the change of mind that brings the Tower. There it is. As I was just saying it now, the change of mind is what brings the Tower. Because when you decide that you're going to look at it from another perspective, you're going to heal. Adversity is adversity, and you have the power to change it. It changes the whole game. Yep. The knowing changes the whole game. And by learning that lesson, you send a signal to the universe saying, I'm ready. And the Tower falls. And here comes love. And here comes somebody who's going to speak only words of truth to you as it pertains to love. Someone who's exactly like you. We've got 2 kings of swords here. So you could both be an air energy. You don't have to be. You could both be masculine. You don't have to be. You could both be feminine. But the king of swords is the one who is going to always wield the sword of truth. And so I feel like after you learn your lesson and the Tower comes in to clear the debris, I feel like love shows up for you. Yeah. For some of you, it could be an air sign. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It could be an Aries as well. We also have Scorpio here. There it is. It brings everything into balance. It's because you decided to let go. But it's your decision. And you could carry this Tower for years if you want to. You could. You're tough. But look at all the beautiful things that happen when you finally let it go. When you let things be in their natural order, right? When you're not holding ground. We end up with this. You can hold ground, or you can have that. The Knight of Cups. The King of Cups. All the cups. All right, I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll be back, of course, because I'm always back. But I love you. That's why I get back. Bye-bye.